Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are doing very well today. I realized that most of the food on this channel has all been blended in that magic mix right over there. So I decided to make something a little bit different tonight. I'm going to be making a beautiful lentil dal. It's got such incredible little spices going into it, and the preparation does take a few minutes and just getting it all going inside of the pan. But once it's in the pan and it simmers, you can maybe like step away for a moment and help your kids with their homework or quickly attend to a few last emails. So it is still a very simple recipe, and I really do think it is very much doable in the middle of the week. So let's get going. This is the ingredients we're going to be using for the lentil dal. We've got our garlic, we've got 4 tomatoes, 1 tin of diced tomato, then 1 tin of coconut milk. I've got 3 different colored lentils over here. The more colors and varieties I can add to my food, I do. Then I've got chilies, I've got ground cumin, paprika, chili powder, and I've got my curry. And that is going to be it. I weighed out my lentils. This is 400 grams of the lentils, and I just put them in water to give them a proper rinse before they're going into the pan. I'm now going to continue by chopping my garlic and my tomatoes. Yeah, push over limits with you right now. Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push over limits with you right now. My stove is currently on 7 out of 9, so it's got 9 settings. So it's medium-high heat. I can feel the heat coming along in the pan. I'm now going to be adding some olive oil as well as my 3 cloves of garlic and then some salt. In the spirit of creating less dishes, I'm just going to keep this small little plate next to the stove and use this as a spoon race. Try and make like life easy and think of small little things like this, which will just create less dishes for you. The garlic's been cooking for 1 to 2 minutes. I'm now going to be adding my tomatoes. I'm also going to be adding my spices now. I'm going to be adding 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 2 teaspoons of curry. You can buy whichever you prefer. I just bought the mild one. You can add as much chili powder as you like, but for this amount I usually add about half a teaspoon. And half a teaspoon of chili flakes. This has now been cooking for about another 2 minutes or so. I'm going to give it a quick stir and then I'm going to add the lentils. I'm now going to be adding these 2 tins to the pan. Always give your coconut milk a little bit of a shake, especially if you're using cream. Sometimes it just gets a little bit stuck inside of the tin. You now want to crank up the heat. I'm going to turn my stove up to a 9 and I'm going to bring it to a boil before turning it down to let it simmer. While the heat is increasing, quickly give your cans a rinse so they're ready for recycling. The dal is now ready to be turned down. It can cook for another hour, stirring it about every 15 minutes or so. I'm putting mine about on a 4 out of 9 setting on my stove, so a really low medium heat. Please leave it uncovered so that the air can escape, and a really thick, nice creaminess is going to start forming. When you realize it's starting to thicken quite a bit, you can add a splash of water just to get it going again. I have about 17 minutes left on my timer, and at this point it's starting to look a little bit dry, so I am going to add a bit of water. Here's my dal. I'm serving it with a side of guacamole as well as some vegan coconut yogurt on top of some wild brown rice. And that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I'll also have my recipe in the description box. Have a good week, everyone. Cheers, guys. Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push over.